and we're the co-directors of the Building Movement Project.
Great.
We haven't killed each other or anyone else.
That's a real accomplishment.
Yeah. So I think overall, it just seems like the working relationship is working, and also the output in terms of what the organization's able to produce is also significant, impactful, and it's feeling good.
I think it's working well because we have a trusting relationship and we knew each other before we became co-directors. And I think that was really important in our relationship. So the fact that we didn't have to start from the beginning of getting to know each other, to establish, check each other out, made it work much more quickly. So we really hit the ground running. And we also have really complementary skills. So Sean brings a set of skills that I really didn't have. He has a background in organizing. He has a background in education and training. So he's bringing that in, and in policy work in a way that's in a different area, deeper in areas that I haven't worked in, like in immigration reform. So as he moves into that, and then that complements what I've have at Building Movement and what the rest of the team has.
Well, I think that we do sort of have a shared vision, which is something that we talk about a lot in terms of what makes alliances work. I think it also is what makes two people be able to work well together.
Right.
And so the fact that we do have the chance to, in 15 minutes, go to the coffee shop, debrief what's going on, have some creative thinking, and then come back and go back into what we were doing, and then can pick up some of the threads from those various short walks, does actually make a difference. And I don't think it would work as well if we were outstationed.
I agree with that.
So I think that the being in the same office does make a huge difference. Yep. It's about relationship, but it's also about people having an instinct that we can not just work together, but that we can share leadership of this organization. Because I do think that's a different thing from just we can both produce work product that's going to advance the organization.
Right. And we're not just working on parallel tracks. I think that's a really good point. We met for 6 months. We really talked about what it would mean to share leadership, whether we had the same idea about what that would mean. And then we actually sat down and said, what would you do? What would I do? How would we take the leads? It's a trade-off, because when we have a project that needs to get done, if Sean's taking the lead on the project, I might pull way back because he's taking the lead. We get more done if we're doing separate things.
Yeah.
But it may be then that I'm not adding some value that could happen if I hadn't pulled so far back. Now, I don't think we found that spot yet where how much are you in and reading something over or adding to what's being produced. So, Sean comes in as a younger person of color. I'm this older white woman, and we don't really think about what's the strategy for that. We don't think about, just as we haven't thought about the fact that Sean has a different background than I do. I think where we could really focus more is how strategically do we use our differences and our complementariness, I don't even know if that's a word, in order to be more effective.
I think the fact that we do have a coach that we are working with in an ongoing way is helping, because it, just at that 6-month point, it was a great opportunity to pause and sort of say, yes, things are going great, and at the same time, there are things that we could be paying more attention to. And so we have a list of things and ideas from that meeting that we need to implement, and we still haven't implemented. but we will eventually, So I think that's...
Well, it's really been a short amount of time. I mean, it will be good to come back next year and say, okay, now after a year and a half, what it's like. Because I think after 6 months, it's like, whew, we can work together. We're good. This is good. We're building a really solid foundation. But as we kind of build the house on top of the foundation, I think now that's what we're trying to figure out. Where the window's going to go, where the doors, and but I feel like some of it is just time.
Yeah.
Some of it is just time.